guys. Good afternoon. Welcome to our podcast today. This is our new weekly segment that we are doing on Let 'Em Run called BRISnet Play of the Day. And we have a BRISnet Play of the Day that I will be talking about extensively in a moment. I do want to take a minute to just thank our sponsors, the Vape Shop in Hamilton, Case's Pork Roll, or if you haven't had pork roll, we say this pretty much on every show. You should try pork roll. If you do, you will not be disappointed. Also want to thank BRISnet. We are a part of the BRISnet family now. I'm very happy and proud to be a part of BRISnet. Be sure to check them out on BRISnet.com. They have some tremendous information that is not available on other handicapping sites. And I have experienced some good success, which I'll share some of that with you today on the program with a pick that we will be discussing. You can see there on the bottom, it's the 8th race tomorrow at Tampa Bay Downs, which is going to be nice and sunny and warm. Not like here in New Jersey, not like here in the Northeast, but that's going to have an impact on some of the changes that might happen with some of the Derby prep races. There were 4 Derby prep races scheduled this weekend, a big weekend. In fact, one of them, the Southwest, was moved from last week to this Friday. So, hey, if you're looking for a little action on Friday, guess what? You got it. The Southwest Stakes will be run Friday. We'll be talking about that extensively with my partner, John Costin, on Friday's show, a special show Friday. Normally our happy hour is at 3 p.m. We're going to start happy hour a little bit early. We're going to start happy hour at 12:30 this Friday, where we will be talking about the late pick 5 at Southwest Stakes, at Hot Springs, Arkansas, at obviously looking ahead at that stake, at that race at Oaklawn. The Southwest Stakes is on that race card as the 11th race of a 12-card race, big fields in all the races. So if you're looking for value, please be sure to tune in. Check out our show on Friday at 12:30. We'll be back again on Saturday at 12:30. Once again, hopefully, we'll see. Not hopefully we'll be there, but hopefully talking about what might have happened, because certainly after this weekend, regardless, 3 of the 4 Kentucky Derby prep races will be, sorry about my voice, will be run for sure. Friday, of course, we said the Southwest Stakes out at Oaklawn, Hot Springs, Arkansas. The weather is up there in the neighborhood of 67 degrees or so, sunny and warm. Going to be great. On Saturday, we have 2 Kentucky Derby prep races being run. One at Tampa Bay, the Sam Davis. We'll be covering that for sure on Saturday. And also at Santa Anita, the Robert E. Lewis, another Derby prep race where points are awarded to the 1st through 5th finishers. Obviously, the number 1 finisher gets 20 points, which could be big. The question is, what's going to happen at Aqueduct on Friday? We're scheduled to have a nice card on paper, but as we said before, we don't run the races on paper. I think the weather, unfortunately, is going to, be a problem with them once again. It's terrible. I feel bad for the connections of these horses. They're hoping, if the weather holds up, to run the Withers at Aqueduct on Friday, along with the same time. Well, not the same time, but obviously Friday afternoon, they're going to be running at Oaklawn, the Southwest Stakes. So by Sunday morning, Saturday night, however you want to look at it, Sunday morning, the Kentucky Derby prep races will have a big impact on the standings, the leaderboard, and the Kentucky Derby. We were at Monmouth Park this weekend with myself and my partner, John Costin, participating in an NHC contest. Did okay, didn't break the bank, but we did see a special horse, and hope you got a chance to watch the podcast. We'll talk about that on another show that we're going to be putting together on a regular basis. You're going to see us on Fridays, except for this Friday. You're going to see us on Fridays at 3 p.m. with our happy hour show. This Friday, again, a special show at 12:30 because of the Southwest Stakes being run on Friday. So a great day for racing on Friday. Saturday, we always will have our 12:30 show. And starting this Sunday, we're going to have our Let 'em Run wrap-up show where we'll talk about the races that happened over the weekend, any things that need to be discussed on what we saw, what we did. Anything along those lines is something that we need to do. So we'll talk about that. So you can also be sure we're going to have more of these plays, either Bro's BRISnet play of the day or JK's BRISnet play of the day. He'll be doing some podcasts during the week between Monday and Thursday. Again, I'm doing one today, and I'll be doing one again tomorrow as we continue to try and grow our activities here on Let 'em Run. And again, we're thankful for Capital Sports Network and Sports Talk Media Network. They're continuing to grow with lots of shows covering a lot of the sports world, and not just your typical sporting events, whether that be, I hate to use the word football because I know, Sean, when you say football, that means soccer, but I'm talking about football, NFL football, which ends this Sunday with the Super Bowl, Seattle versus New England. A lot of talk about that. The guys on Capital Sports Network, Jim Williams covers that with some activity there. So be sure to check that out. Also, check out our articles that we put together that we write on Florida Sports Talk. There's all our back articles on there that we've posted in the past. We post articles a couple times a week, picking out the races. We will be posting an article coming up on the late pick 5 at Oklahoma, including the Southwest Stakes, and John Costa and myself will cover that on Friday at 12:30 p.m. So let's get to today. Let's talk about today, where we're going to look at the 8th race at Tampa Bay on Wednesday. It is a claiming 16,000 non-winners of 2 mile and 16th on the turf coming out of the chute. Our friend Wadey Khalil, I hope he's down there in Tampa checking this race out. It's a field of 10. There are 2 AEs, so I think there's going to be a field of 10 when they get to the gate, even if there are a scratch or 2. That's a nice field with some value. If we go down to horses, the first horse, Hit Song, 20-1. That horse doesn't do much for me. The number 2, My Gal, written by Geraldo Maldonado, 8-1 morning line. Okay. The number 3, Apple Shake. Not my pick, but certainly a horse to keep an eye on with. Rodriguez is on that horse. He is a morning line of 12-1. Jockey's been hot lately, has 8 mounts, 3 wins, 1 second, 1 third. That's the horse I'm interested in. The 4th horse, number 4, Attending, Sonny Leone, who's riding very well down at Tampa. If you've been following, you can see he's another hot jockey. The last 17 mounts, he has 5 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. So he's looking pretty good down there. The number 5 horse is the number 1, Prime Power. He towers above the field in terms of prime power, which is a BRISnet angle that you must pay attention to. This horse, the American Dreamer, has the hottest jockey down there in Tampa Bay. American Dream maker, Sammy Camacho, on him. Horse ran impressively the last couple races, always runs a good race. Maybe tough to beat, but I'm going to be taking a shot, and we'll talk about that horse shortly. The number 6, Portrait of Addie, written by Daniel Centeno. Anytime you're looking at the turf race, you better think about Daniel Centeno. His morning line is 8-1. 3 races back, that horse ran a nice race to close and break the maiden up at Aqueduct. Since then, has come down to Tampa. Been off a while. Got to keep that in mind, too, when you look at that. I'm going to skip the 7 for obvious reasons. Obviously, now you can see, you can look. 7 is my play. The 8 horse, Patient 5, Fee 5 Fo Fum, however you want to say it, ridden by Rod Martinez. Trained by Kathleen Damasio, always a little bit dangerous. Got to always pay attention to her if she puts a horse out there, but that horse is not going to do it for me. Number 9, Terry T. That horse, I think, is up against it at 30-1. Same thing with the 10, up against it at 30-1. The number 11 is also eligible, so I guess I'm just going to rinse and repeat. Michaela is also 30-1, and the 12 is 30-1. So with Andrew Worry on there. Not much speed threat, not a lot of speed threat in this race. There are a lot of horses that have same closing kind of style. I don't see anyone going out with my pick, the number 7, Life Advice, written by one of the better jockeys down at Tampa Bay, if not anywhere. Antonio Gallardo, has been around quite a while, certainly gets his share of winners, is getting on this horse for the first time. And this horse is coming third off the layoff. The morning line at 3-1, I hope stays in that neighborhood. I think this horse is going to get a good turn, good out of the gate. He's got the only E-race, E-style, that is a BRISnet signature designation. He's the only horse that has the E rating and has the highest U.S. time form early pace figure of 113. So do I like that? Sure. Here's another BRISnet angle that's huge. You don't see this on other handicapping sites that you go to. This horse, second start with the trainer, okay? He's bounced around for some good trainers. But second start with this trainer, who's Juan Artigado, is currently hitting at about 30%. But second time when the horse is with this trainer, hits at 62%. And it's not out of one or two times. How about 13, a sample of 13 hits at 62%. That's enough to get my attention. And again, that is a stat you get when you follow BRISnet. And be sure to check them out, BRISnet.com. Lots of information there. Certainly well worth it. And his third prime power. Again, the number one prime power kind of towers. I just don't see any other horses getting out with this horse. In general, the trainer is 32% when he claims a horse off the claim, puts him in a claiming race. Second off the claim again, 62%. Unbelievable. I mean, this horse was previously in the barn of Joe Sharp. Joe Sharp has good horses. He knows how to train horses on turf. This horse was originally looked like he'd spent a lot of time on synthetic, going back and forth. Last two times have been on turf at Tampa. Prior to that, he was running at Churchill Downs, Saratoga, been up against some classy horses. Little concern at the quick turnaround. I mean, the last race was on January 28th. So this is a quick turnaround, about 7 or 8 days. Haven't seen any workouts for the horse. Maybe bothers me a little bit, but not enough to get off the horse, especially because I think that may raise the odds up a little bit. So keep an eye. That's my play of the day. BRISnet's Bros. BRISnet play of the day for Wednesday, February 4th, tomorrow. That race goes off, so you can be sure to check it out. That race goes off at 4:25 Eastern time. So hopefully pick that horse, get a winner, go ahead and have a good dinner. I wouldn't think, I would also maybe consider doing an exacta if you're looking for a couple horses, the 4, 5, 6, all good horses that could mix it up with the exacta. I'm going to play this horse just to win, depending on the odds. I hope he goes up or goes off at 2-1 or better. That'll give me a good chance to put a win bet in and possibly use that horse on top of some of the other horses, because I think he's going to wire the field. I don't see another horse going up. If he gets out of the gate, if he gets a good lead, I think Antonio Gallardo is a good, tremendous jockey on turf. Sam Marin's 21% on turf. Sam Marin, 21% on turf. Antonio Gallardo is 17% on turf. There's no other jockeys that are in that neighborhood as far as percentage goes. Overall percentage, yes. I'm talking about strictly on turf. Sam Marin, 21%, strictly on turf. Antonio Gallardo, 17%. So, those are the kind of things you want to pay attention to. So check me out. I'll be here again tomorrow at 2 o'clock with a big horse from Aqueduct's Thursday card. But check it out for tomorrow. Let's see how it goes for this. And just remember, like we always say, bet smart, cheer hard. Fast horses can result in some serious fun. And, when we have a good time, what we say at the end of this broadcast is let them run. So let them run, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Good luck.